We are also joined by 4 UCT students who won a global competition in Germany for supercomputing. Let us hear what they have to say about it. Welcome, guys.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's an honor having you. And you know, it's always an honor for me to sit down with young people who are doing great things when it comes to science and technology.
Yeah.
Some of us just chose to do TV, guys, but it's fine. Let's talk about how did you guys hear about the competition and how were you guys selected?
So we heard about the competition because I've had friends who did it a few years ago, and so I heard about it from them, and then I roped this group in by promising them free food and a flight to Durban for the training round. And they joined me, and they turned out to be a very good team, which was helpful. So for the selection process, we go through a training round, and then if you get selected from there, you go through to a competition round, in an actual competition round, where you start doing practical supercomputing. And then the winning team of that and some other students selected from promising students from the competition get put together into the team that goes to Germany. And so we're the 4 UCT students, and there's 2 students from Wits, who aren't able to be here because of Cape Town.
Let's take it back to supercomputing. For someone like me who's doing TV, who knows nothing about technology and science, what is supercomputing?
So supercomputing is you take certain problems which can't be solved on a single computer because there aren't enough resources, not enough processing power, not enough memory to store it on one computer. And you can spread it out amongst more cheaper computers. And you can get much better performance and solve much larger problems than can be solved on a single computer.
Yeah, my computer is a problem. I'm going to bring to you guys.
So I know you said that in the competition there are 4 days that you are really working towards. Can you take us through what those 4 days look like?
Yeah, sure. So we start by arriving with the cluster shipped to the venue of the conference, and we begin compiling it together and making it work, so it's all working correctly. And then once it's working completely fine, then we start busy running the applications to get an idea if they're going to run fine on the power there. Then with the competition side, it runs over 3 days, but the first day we have to put the computer together. And each day we are given a flash drive which has a benchmark or a application that we have to run. And that application will run across our cluster computer, and we want to try and optimize it to run as fast or get the best score on it as possible. But where it becomes interesting is we have to keep everything under a certain power limit of 3,000 watts. So we're trying to get the best efficiency on this problem.
Wow.
That sounds good.
It's really like, I might be dense, but that sounds very, very complicated. And I'm sure that the support from your teammates are really, really important. Can you talk to me about what teamwork really means in this sense? Could it be something that you do alone, or is teamwork really important?
Teamwork is vitally important, I think. We worked together a lot. We had a whole 6 months of preparation for this, and that took a lot of dedication, and having a team that we all got along together, and that made things really, really good, because then we didn't get bored and we had lots of fun with it, and that was good.
Let's talk about the people that have supervised you guys. You've been supervised by David and Matthew, all the way from the Center of High Performance Computing. How is that opportunity like to be supervised by people who are very huge when it comes to computing?
Yeah, so being supervised by David and Matt was excellent because David's a genius. And they basically organized everything from the previous competitions leading up to this international competitions. They brought us through training and sort of stuff like that. They organized the sponsors and like all the trips, the flights, the food, everything.
Wow.
All given to us.
South Africa has won the competition several times. When you guys were entering the competition, did you have the pressure not to be the ones that come back without the title? Was there pressure, and how did you deal with the pressure?
There was quite a bit of pressure to do well. South Africa does very well in the competition. We've won half of all the competitions.
Well done.
So fortunately for us, we're well supported. So there was a lot of help in getting us to this point, but there was a lot of pressure. especially because we're all first timers.
Yeah. How did you guys deal with the pressure, especially when you're a first timer going to this competition?
I mean, we just try and keep everything lighthearted because we enjoy what we're doing. We don't say it's this or we die. It's just doing what we enjoy and trying to do it our best.
Amazing.
And what are some of the challenges during the competition? Or what is the biggest challenge?
So the challenge leading up to the competition that I found the greatest was coming from a place where we didn't know too much about supercomputers, and then we have about a year because they choose a new team every single year. And then, then just learning all about supercomputers just before this international competition.
Okay.
So I would assume you guys at UCT, you're studying something that has to do with computers. I want to talk to the lady. We just mentioned at the beginning of the show, there's only like 39% of women who are into technology and science. As a woman who's currently starting towards this career, what is your take on that? Do you feel like as a country we're doing enough to put more girls, to encourage more girls to be part of science and technology?
Yes, definitely. Especially with this competition, there's a rule that you have to have at least one female in your team. So they're encouraging women to get more into the field a lot.
I think this rule needs to be changed. I think the rule should be at least half of the team should be women.
Yeah.
To be honest. And also, what have you learned throughout the competition that you were like, wow, I didn't know this about myself, or I didn't know this about the team?
Well, in university, we don't really have much of an introduction to supercomputing.
Yeah.
So this has definitely taught us a lot, and it's definitely opened our eyes to what the industry is and given us an interest in pursuing it in the future.
So you guys are definitely going into supercomputing.
It's quite likely.
And what is the winning formula? Why do you think we come back and we take home the trophy every single time?
So the winning formula in my perspective, or I think our whole team, we all agree, it was dedication. You know, we dedicate a lot of our time and put a lot of effort into this, spending 6 months prepping for this, and that took a lot of time. And then additionally having great mentors like the guys from the CHPC, and having great sponsors. They organized us these fantastic sponsors that got us the hardware that managed to enable us to do this. And that was great.
So you guys have won. We'd love to know, what did you guys win?
We won an
What was the
experience.
prize?
In my perspective, it was a very great experience. We got so much exposure to the industry, and we learned so much along the way. You know, that's what was really fantastic for me.
Yeah, so I get asked this question a lot. Like, what are they doing? Because they expect us to get some money or something.
Some millions, maybe.
Yeah, unfortunately not. But we do get to put something really cool on our CV, which honestly would probably help further in the long run.
Yeah. It's not every day where we hear about competitions that are about science and technology, to be honest.
Yeah.
What do these competition mean to upcoming technologists or scientists like you guys?
So this competition is well run for people who want to get into it. So part of the competition is they train a new team every year to try and teach as many people these skills as possible. They have 80 students every single year who go through the training round, and then 40 who go into the competition round. So I think that if you are looking to get into this is a good place to start, and certainly this is sort of the CSIR doing good stuff for technology in the country.
Yeah.
And does the competition have different themes? Was there a specific focus this year?
The main theme stays the same, which is the efficiency within your power budget. But every year there's a new list of applications and benchmarks that you need to test. So you get given those beforehand and you can practice trying to optimize them before the competition.
Okay.
Yeah. Since you guys are a team of 6, is there a specific role that each individual had to play? Or were you guys focusing on the same task at the same time?
Yes, so as I said, we got the list of applications beforehand. So we each got delegated one that we needed to work on and try and optimize. But we all pitched in and helped each other if we got stuck as well.
Which one was yours?
OpenForum and Pennant.
Open? What is it about?
OpenForum is fluid simulations, and Pennant, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. And what was your task?
So mine was, it was called CP2K, and it's a quantum material simulator. So basically it simulates very small particles that make up a material in like a specific environment.
I was running a thing called Swift, which is a space simulator for galaxies and stars and nebulae, and simulating those. We should also point out that her benchmarks were the highest scoring ones in the competition.
Yay!
I love a leading lady.
Definitely.
And I did the HPCG benchmark, which is just a benchmark that you use to get a realistic idea of how well or how fast your cluster is. And additionally, I was being a sysadmin, which is a person who just sort of monitors the system and manages it to maintain it under that 3,000 watts power limit, so we don't go over.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. It was really, really a privilege to have you. And I feel like I need to read a book or something
About
to
science.
to understand the terminology used, because it's quite intricate, in my opinion.
To be honest, currently I have a problem with my laptop, so I always go on YouTube to try fix it before taking it to the mechanic. I think you guys should do something, a YouTube channel, and help us fix our laptops. I'll bring my laptop.
Supercomputing for dummies.
That would be great. Guys, thank you so much. It was an honor having you on the show, and good luck with your career, and we are so proud about you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for tuning in and joining the 4 lovely students in the supercomputing field.